You saw the title. I've learned my lesson, and even more lessons. In fact, I've learned all of the lessons that there are to be learned. I've had some very interesting luck, to say the least, and I pinky promise you that I'm not making any of this up. I don't think I've ever had a quote-unquote normal romantic relationship with a straight cis guy. I mean, one time I was in cahoots with one of the hairiest dudes that I have ever seen, and then he made a comment about how I should trim my nose hair after I sent him a selfie from a lower angle. I wish he could see me now. But before I say anything else, Juno Birch watched my makeup tutorial and she reviewed it, and she literally put it in her recent video along with so many other beautiful, gorgeous aliens. What? Not only did she like my minty green makeup, but she loved my thrifted bag and vest, and she even showed off my 70s intro, and I'm like, what? She liked it? She did not have to include that in her video, but she did. Her video is linked in the description below, along with my own makeup tutorial, so go check that out after this. But very quickly before we dive into this tale, I'm currently running a fundraising raffle for Palestinian relief, and you can directly help a really hardworking family who's actively working to rebuild their family greenhouse and farm that was destroyed. The fundraising raffle post can be found both here on YouTube in my community tab. I've posted it a few times, but you can also find it pinned on my Instagram at kel.sharp, which is the same handle as this channel. I urge you to check that out along with the other links in my description. Please educate yourself, stay up to date on what's happening. But anywho, the whole point of this video is to share just one story in particular. A tale so strange, so out of pocket, and so wacky that you'll sit there like, you when you win. So grab a snack, get cozy, and get ready, Freddie Benson, because I'm about to tell you my summertime soiree romance story, if I can even call it that.
In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Allow me to set the scene. It was a hot summer evening. I was traveling to my friend's house to celebrate their birthday party. I was one of the very first people to arrive, and there were only like 2 other cars on the street, and I was sitting there questioning for a good 5 minutes or so. Am I at the right location? But I was. I was just an early bird. I brought my little gift bags for the birthday hosts, as well as my pillow, my sleeping bag, my toiletries, a whole change of clothes for the nights, and sweats to sleep in. I have always been one to bring all the bare necessities. I was prepared for a slumber party when this was just a regular schmegular party. But it was truly a summer of slang. My hair resembled Poppy the Troll. I was dressed to the theme of At the Ball, and I wore my prized possession of a secondhand find, this beautiful, gorgeous, stunning, fabulous dress that I thrifted. I had my watermelon-themed makeup, and I was ready to slay the night away. So I walk in with my plethora of belongings, and it's just me, 2 other people I don't know, and the birthday host. And for a good 5 to 10 minutes, I was just sitting on the far end of the couch like a nervous Nelly, just awkwardly waiting for more people to show up, so I wouldn't have to say anything. But I was really worried coming into this party because this was the first shindig that I had been to in an extremely hot minute, since I had avoided them for so long due to so many over-the-top dramatic parties that felt like I was in an episode of The Real Housewives. I was desperately searching around for an animal companion to keep me company throughout the night, but I sadly did not see anything. And I even asked my birthday friend, I'm like, hey, where's your cat? And they're like, sorry, she has to be locked away for the night. But I was actually kind of taken aback by how calm, cool, and collected the whole atmosphere was. Like, everyone was just very genuine, no drama in this house. It was just such a new and wonderful experience. My heart wasn't palpitating for no random reason. So to loosen up for the night, I decided to poof my pen and get into the zone, not AutoZone. And then I decided to have my first little beverage of the night. My birthday friend poured me 1.5 ounces of my requested drink, which is Tito's, not sponsored, but only because I said, and I quote, "I used to be able to drink that stuff like water, and I can down it like nothing." But thankfully, it was just one itty-bitty shot. Some time passed and it seemed like a majority of whomever was invited was there. So my birthday friend said, "Let's all start playing some games." So I remove myself from my designated corner of the couch and I go back to the kitchen. I'm looking around at the beverage choices and I see something that I have not tried. T as in Troy? T as in Tito's? No. T as in tequila. As I mentioned, this was my very first time indulging in this beverage, so I had my friend make me a little mixed drink.
2 shots of vodka, then 1 shot of strong.
I had really just planned on sipping it throughout the night, however, it was time to play a little game. So the game of choice was Drunk Jenga, and it really was all fun and games until it was my turn. It felt like slow motion as I tapped and pulled out the block from the middle that said chug. The people sitting next to me kept saying, "Hey, you don't have to do this one, or you can just take a sip," trying to give me alternatives. But I do not back down from a dare. And the fact that I was in front of all brand new people, I just felt like no one was pressuring me. Literally no one was, except for me. And so I'm like, okay, I'll chug. I just felt a sudden urge to act smart, but that was not smart at all. It was quite dumb, because that tequila traveled straight down and saturated my liver. But before the tequila fully hit and I still had my balance and grace, I was sitting so elegantly on the couch like I truly was at the ball. And not even 2 minutes later, he walked in. It was like a Hallmark movie moment. We both made eye contact at the same time.
We see each other.
Literally everything was in slow motion during this time, and I swear to Gaga, there was a spotlight on him as he walked in. If we were a movie, you'd be the right guy. But just a few seconds after he walked in, everything hit, and I was slumped on that couch like a potato. I was slumping for a few minutes until this one very kind girl assisted me in getting up and going to the kitchen to grab some food. So I took a red cup, filled it to the brim with pretzel rods, and I waddled back to the couch to my designated spot. I was just inhaling those pretzel rods like Kirby. As I was gobbling and swallowing my grub, I feel the couch sink down next to me as if someone had just popped a squat. I look over, cup in hand, pretzels in mouth, and there he is. He said, "Hello, love." And in that moment, I truly, honestly, genuinely thought that all of my dreams were coming true. Because during this time, my world was revolving around another British boy. I'm not even sure if I said hello back, but he then said, "I walked in and I saw you, and I just had to come over and say, hello, we should meet up later." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And he said, "What game is this?" And I said, "Oh, this is Drunk Jenga, and I pulled the chug block." And he replied, "Oh, I've done that too many times." "Oh, I need to go see other people, but we should meet up later. I'm Donnie." And he was off. He sat quite close to me on the couch, so I had a minute to analyze his look. I would describe his vibe as very 2010 to 2015 Johnny Depp. Just layers upon layers of jewelry in different patterns and textures, and he even had shoulder-length wavy curly hair like 2014 Prince Harry, and even a fedora-style hat to top it off. And I want to point out now that when we first met, he was not wearing makeup. But as he walked away, I looked to those around me and I said, "Who the fuck was that?" Already forgetting his name. Those around me did not know. However, I would soon learn more about this mysterious figure very soon. I am absolutely terrible at remembering people's names, and even though someone had the brilliant idea of giving people name tags so they could wear throughout the night, he just wasn't wearing one. Rutro Raggy. So I'm chilling on the couch with some other people. Donnie walked away, and I started talking to that one cool girl who assisted me in getting food. I told her all about my love for the famous British boy, so we quickly bonded over that, and I expressed how my favorite song at that current time was Boyfriends. And I kid you not, that literally played in the next 5 seconds on that little Roku TV. And I really thought that that was a sign for how the rest of the night was gonna go. But you know when you just go to a shindig alone and you don't know anyone there and you just kind of buddy up with someone and you're like, okay, I'm gonna hang out with you for the rest of the night. Well, this girl and me, we were gossiping and giggling all night long in our little gaggle. So this girl and I, we take our conversation on the road. Not really, but we travel a few feet into the backyard to hang out on the back porch where everyone else flocked to. So this girl and I are just giggling and talking and enjoying the fresh air outside. And all of a sudden, the air starts to get a lot less fresh. I soon began to smell cigarette smoke, and so I turned around and there he was. And I was like, oh! I was very conflicted because there was a British boy right in front of me. However, he reeked of a foul stench that I have despised since the day I was born. But anywho, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so glad I found you. He then held out his cigarette pack to me and said, do you smoke? Not nicotine. I have some bud in me car if you want to go get that later. And in that moment, I was like Debbie Ryan, brushing my hair behind my ear. I was like, okay, I think he's gonna be my buddy for the night. And in that moment, I did a very slimy thing, and I just abandoned that girl to go hang out with this 24-looking, old man, British-smelling... He asked if I want to go on a walk, and I'm like, yeah, totally. And at this point, I'm still drunk, so everything seems like a dream. So we walk out onto the road, and the street that we're walking down looks like it is straight out of a Hallmark movie. There were old houses with charm, beautiful tall trees creating a canopy being lit up by old streetlights, and there was a warm summer breeze. We were walking and talking for a good amount of time until, out of nowhere, he started to act like a middle schooler. He started small by taking a little rock or something from someone's yard, and I'm like, that's odd. But then as our walk progressed, he straight up removed like this colorful plastic bottle from somebody's garden sculpture thing. And I'm like, what? But as we loop back to the soiree destination, we pass up his car and we make a little pit stop. He asked me if I want some dried plants, and I'm like, sure. But then he goes on to tell me that he's a straight up dealer, like the guy Deuce from Shake It Up. He's like, let me know if you ever want anything. I have everything. And right then and there, I was expecting hidden cameras to pop out, piggies to roll up, John Quinones to be like, what would you do? So we head back to the party and go back out on the back porch where everyone else was gathered. So I had been hanging out with this dude for a few hours now, and in the beginning when he said, hello love, he was not wearing makeup. But now that we were back in the house, there was fluorescent lighting on his face. His eyes were just bedazzled in eyeliner, meaning that sometime throughout the night, he snuck away for a quick makeover. It's like when you have your sim and you can just change their outfit and makeup in the snap of a click. I was fully expecting a new outfit as well, but I guess not. But speaking of new outfits, I was absolutely done wearing my beautiful, fancy, gorgeous, fabulous getup. So I said to him, hey, I need to change this. I am like so uncomfortable right now. So he follows me upstairs and I grab my bag so I can change in a random room alone. So when I'm all done changing, I open the door, and across the landing, there's an open bathroom where Donnie is hanging out with like 3 to 4 other people. But all of these other people just looked like straight up rock stars. Like, imagine Lestat from Queen of the Damned, except they were wearing shirts. So I'm going to assume that's where he got the makeup. But these people just look so cool, and here I am walking out of the room in my Harry Styles shirt. But now that I'm all comfy and cozy, we walk down the stairs, but there is a plethora of people just standing outside of this closed door, and I'm like, what's happening? But then as people started to disperse, I noticed 2 little biscuit making paws under the door doing this, and people were just tapping the little toe beans, and I was like, oh, this is the best part of the night, hands down. After watching that for who knows how long, we walk back into the kitchen. We were all talking, having a fabulous, funny time, but the night started to wind down and people were beginning to leave. So I'm sitting on the kitchen chair and he's leaning on the wall right next to me, and I can tell that this boy is still intoxicated. And this is where things really start to pick up. So Donnie arrived to the shindig with this other dude that he just abandoned who knows when during the night. And I mean, that is quite literally what I did to that other girl. And I still feel so bad about that, I'm sorry. But anywho, he gets up from the wall, walks in front of me, gets down on one knee, and is holding my hands. The room is silent. I want to bet $5 to someone who was at that party, and I want to be like, there was a spotlight on us, because the amount of tension and eyes sizzling into my skin that I felt, it was... But in his little British accent, he goes, Kelly love, it's time for us to get going. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, you're slurring your words. So I said to him, hey, when's the last time you drank water? And he just goes on, oh, I'm fine, I'm okay, I'm alright, I'm alright, I'm okay, I'm fine. So I did something that I had never done before, and I hope that I will never, ever, ever have to do again. Still holding hands, I say to him, will you at least drink some water for me? And I kid you not, he legit said something along the lines of, I love how you're always caring about me. You're always worrying so much about me. Like insinuating that we had known each other prior to this night, and that like I had always been worrying, and like, I just met you, man. Like, yeah, I care, but I really just don't want to see your vehicle be totaled and your body through the front windshield, you know? Still holding my hands, he says, for you, I will drink some water. And I'm not sure why, but he guided me to stand up, and we walked together holding hands 3 feet into the kitchen. The entire place is still silent. We're standing in the kitchen, and I'm looking around at everyone, making eye contact, like, what's going on? People were just shrugging and looking just as confused as I was. So dear old Donnie grabs a Brita bottle from the fridge, and he's looking around for a glass to pour that water in, but he cannot find anything. So out of nowhere, I swear he pulled it out from behind his ear, he found a random food vessel. I believe it was a creamer cup or like a gravy boat, something that was meant for food but not to drink from. And then, as everyone had their eyes locked onto us and there was no audio to be heard in that room, he began to chug that water. He was chugging that water and staring me in the eyes as he did so. With every gulp, I could feel his gaze getting stronger and the vibes getting weirder. He made certain not to break eye contact. He finished guzzling his water, set the Brita bottle back in the fridge, placed down his little gravy boat, grabbed my hands again, and once again stated, I love how much you care about me. As odd as that was, I still wanted to wait a few minutes to make sure that he was a-okay to drive, and so we waddled back into the kitchen table area. I'm sitting down again, and in this moment, he decides to pull a One Less Lonely Girl. He's down on both knees, holding my hands, and he says, I really need to get going. I don't know if this kid put like super glue in my hands or something, but we were still holding hands. We get up again and walk 3 feet into the kitchen where everyone else is gathered and they're all saying goodbye. We're all standing in this teeny tiny space, and his one friend that he arrived with, who he abandoned, popped out of nowhere, and he did not look like a rocker, so I'm assuming that was his manager. But anyways, the manager was like, "It's time to go." So Donnie said goodbye to everyone else there. He was saying goodbye and happy birthday to the birthday host, and then it was my time to shine. He turns towards me, and the spotlight is on once again. He gave me a little side hug and said, "It was so nice to meet you," in an American accent. And then, to no surprise, the room went silent once again, and he was looking directly into my eyes. And I think in that moment, he remembered to turn his British switch back on because he was back in that mode. And this is when he said to me, "I had such a lovely time with you tonight. It was lovely getting to know you. You're so beautiful, but your teeth are wacky." I just stood there in disbelief. The woman was too stunned to speak. It felt like a good 2 or 3 minutes went by, but it was probably just 2 or 3 seconds. And then my birthday friend said, "Hey, that's something you should keep to yourself." And just like that, he walked away. He said, "Hey, I'm done for the night." The entire place was silent. You could hear a pin drop. Literally everyone was eyeing each other like, what the fuck just happened? What is even going on? What? And sometime during the night, he gave me his Snapchat, and I really should have questioned that right then and there, because to me, personally, being someone who is a young adult, and if someone asks, "Hey, can I have your Snapchat?" I'm instantly like transported back to grade school. And I'm then questioning, how old are you? How old are you? Like, that is so high school, little kid energy, and I really should have been questioning that. And I mean, his actions throughout the night just further proved that. And I mean, he didn't even ask for my Instagram to look at my cute ass selfies. Like, hello? But literally right after he left, someone random just said, "Yeah, I'm unadding him." And it was like a domino effect of people just unadding, blocking, whatever. And I'm like, slay. And for the rest of the night, I was just on autopilot, trying to wrap my brain around what had just happened. Like, who was this 2014 Harry Styles Johnny Depp wannabe rock star? And where are you from?
Wait a minute!
What is your real accent? Who are you? Are you even a British boy? Or are you just an American theater kid portraying a British boy? Where did that eyeliner come from? Is it actually April 1st? Am I being pranked? Is John Quinones gonna walk out? Why did he drink from a gravy boat? Did he put that plastic bottle back, or did he keep it? Why did he decide to stop speaking British at the very last moment of the night? And why finish it off by taking a swing at my chompers? And if he really felt some type of way, why spend all that time with me? You can dictate what you do with your own time, bud, huh? Just every time I think back to this night, I'm like, he really tried to humiliate me in front of everyone. And about my teeth, that's something that I didn't even think people cared about. If we could turn back time, I would have clapped back with the astounding fact that he was not even dressed to the theme of at the ball. Like, and also, I'm not the one who needs to fake an accent or pretend to be somebody I'm not to impress other people. Like, I'm confident with my appearance. I certainly have not always been, but in the past few years, like, I'm in my MILF in training era. I am a hot rod mama, and I know that. But also, how are my teeth wacky? Like, even with my American Girl doll teeth, even with that gap, my teeth are as straight as a ruler. They are as straight as a straight person, like George Clooney or Tom Cruise. But in all my years, I never thought that people were so particular about something as little as teeth. But hey, you learn something new every day. obviously we all have our preferences, but ever since that happened, I've become so aware of how others think about teeth. Like when I'm watching reality drama shows especially, they're always like, this baby's so fit, she's so fine, she has nice teeth. I cannot be the only person who doesn't give a shite about somebody's teeth and what they look like. Like, I think being natural, it's hot. And even since that instance, I've seen so many before and afters of like people in Hollywood, big celebrities, whatever, their before and afters of when they have veneers. And it's like, these people all have such beautiful and unique smiles, and afterwards, it's like copy and paste. I mean, they're probably using the same mold, who knows? I am not at all trying to shame procedures or people who have had work done or want to get work done. It just makes me sad to see how much the media forces this really gross narrative that you being yourself is not enough and you need to change so that people will like you and think you're beautiful and gorgeous. No, you are already beautiful and gorgeous just the way you are. And if you want to get work done, cool, go for it. You'll still be beautiful and gorgeous. So the story wraps up there, and I really hope that this is a major learning moment for dear Donnie and anyone else who cannot get past appearances. The moment you stop caring about people's looks and start focusing on their authenticity, you will soon be like, holy cow, there are so many incredible, wonderful people in this world, and I should have been giving my time to them. But before you go, I have a few things that I want to share with you. First of all, thank you for 1,000 plus subscribers. I'm friends with the mom. Literally, what? Thank you. I've been posting on this channel since 2018, and I really just abandoned it, but then I came back and got into the groove in late 2022, and I'm so happy that I did. Since then, I have found such an awesome community here, and I just really want to thank you all for sticking around and for all the support and love that you've shown. You guys are great. And if you were not aware, I am going live and I have an official live schedule, so you can catch me every Tuesday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. And I like to game, do my little hobbies like crafting and painting and embroidering, sewing. I do my makeup. I did Grogu's makeup. I have done a Q&A, and I have so many more lives planned for the future. So be sure to catch those in my live tab. And also, please make sure to visit my fundraising raffle that is in my community tab. I posted a couple times there. You can also find it pinned on my IG at kel.sharp. If you have made it this far, thank you. Comment a pretzel. And let me know if you too have unfortunately had to suffer the wrath of a lame little fake British boy. I know it's very specific, but I feel like I can't be the only one. Remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, be kind to the earth, and I will see you on my next video or my next live. Have a wonderful rest of your week. It was a hot, muggy, summer, humid, but
I'm alright. I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm alright. I'm so right. I can drive. It's alright. I'm fine. I'm alright. I'm fine. I'm alright. Okay. It's okay. I'm alright. I'm alright. I know. Hang on. Okay.
Hey.
I said